And welcome back to the stage. Here we have Jack representing Australia and his team. So I'm gonna go through who's here with us, and then we will start our little debriefing here. We have Gary, who invented the wave machine here, and we have Gab, who is the partner of Jack, the biggest support. And we have Dave, who is the big boss of Exo Coffee. And Anthony Douglas, I don't need to introduce him, I believe. And Matt Crowley, who is the roaster, the coach for Jack Simpson.
Congratulations once again. Big round of applause, everybody. Woo! That was the first competitor today. During a break, and we had a conversation. Dave obviously want to get 2 espresso right away.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I asked him to stop because we need to know what's really going on here, right? So first of all, Big Boss, how do you feel?
Microphone would be good. Yeah, we're feeling really good. Yeah, I think it went really well. He improved every day, which is what you want. So yeah, he's happy, which is the most important thing, to be honest. And then yeah, see what happens.
Cool. How about you guys?
Yeah, the dial-in this morning was amazing. It's, you know, we had several amazing options, which is a good thing you want for finals. So I think we've chosen the right one, and hopefully the judges think the same.
Yeah, his coffee and his routines just picked up, you know, every single day, and this just being the culmination of all the work he's done. So being able to watch this last performance today has been really special.
Right. I watched his routine from the day one, semi-final, final. I think he's getting more solid and solid and solid. I think this is like third wonderful, you know, start of the day today, you know, the final day. Congratulations, guys. Thank you. So maybe we can ask a little bit more about your coffee, Jack. Maybe?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've got 2 coffees. So for espresso, I've chose a coffee from Jamison Savage, a nitrogen macerated geisha. Beautiful, floral, juicy. Yeah, Matt and I went to Panama early on this year, and we cupped a lot of different coffees from a lot of different producers. And oh yes, I'll wave them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
That's what we are very curious about.
Sorry. Yeah, so I use that for espresso, which it's amazing, which you'll get to taste. And then for the milk course. I use a coffee from Jonathan Gascar, who is in the crowd somewhere today, which is really cool.
Where is he?
Jonathan! Hola!
Yeah. And yeah, it's a beautiful coffee. It's like so much red fruits. It's honestly the best milk coffee I've ever had.
Right.
And yeah, it was just a coffee that just spoke for itself, and we put milk on it, and the coffee did the rest. So it was.
Oh, can't wait. Can we try both? Yeah,
of course, absolutely.
That's fantastic. And then also, everyone's in this. I mean, not here as well, but the entire world are very curious about what's really going on there.
Yeah, for sure. So
yeah, for the microwave stuff, right?
Yeah. Not quite. Yeah.
Similar. Can you please explain what's really going on there?
So basically, this machine is called a wave maker. It generates 500 to 5,000 hertz of electromagnetic waves, infuses into the coffee, and it will react with the water molecules, energizing them. So it will shake them up such that they bind together more easily, basically raising the energy states of the molecules. And then you have a smoother tactile experience from it. Yeah.
Right. So maybe because every one of you guys, I think you already convinced this actually changed the taste, right? I want to be convinced as well.
Oh, for sure.
Jack, can you convince me?
Easily. Give me 2 seconds.
I can't wait. Very interesting.
It's been the machine itself is interesting in the sense that every coffee you put on it is different. So a washed Kenyan, a Ethiopian natural, Jamison Savage coffee or Zaza, they all react differently. So 6 seconds, 2 seconds, 8 seconds, they'll do different things to the coffee.
That's something that I wanted to ask because I didn't, because it obviously works with this coffee, right? Yeah. But I just wanted to ask, is this device works for every single coffee?
It definitely doesn't like magically make a bad coffee taste good, but a good coffee, a good extraction, it makes it better. You just got to find the right amount of time for each individual coffee. So the same way a barista would dial in for a regular coffee on the bar, it has the same sort of effect.
I've tried it in Shanghai Expo. So a regular espresso, and it was a plant-based milk, right?
Yeah.
The tactile is very different.
Wow.
In my experience.
So can you explain why the tactile is so different? Is that because of the molecule stuff, or like
Yeah.
what's really going on?
Yeah. Actually, the working principle behind it is that we work with water and polar molecules. So they basically have the positive poles and negative poles. So just imagine if we were to shake them up, there is higher chance for the positive to touch the negative, so they were joined together.
Right.
So that's what's happening within. So coffee has a lot of water molecules and polar molecules, including polyphenols as well. And they are quite big in size, so the waves hit them very easily. That helps us bind them together and have that smoother tactile experience. And when they're joined together, they just run down your throat in one chain. So that is easier to experience.
Okay. So it must be, so this shot without the wave, right?
Or I'm going to do two here. So I'll do one waved. then
That
I'll-
would be great.
Yes.
That would be perfect. So this is your, how many times you be competed to the WBC as a team?
Countless. Third time.
I believe we've been 6 times. It's our
Six times, so-
time at WBC for Axel. Yeah.
So since the new rule and regulations, right? Like the rule and regulation changes, and did you change any approach to the competition every time?
Yes, most definitely. There's been some changes to how we go about and what we're doing. Anthony?
Yeah, I think one of the big ones is obviously the milk course or the milk beverage expanding, so using
Yeah.
alternative milks. So there's been a lot more exploration in how we can tailor specific flavour profiles, and Jack's been exploring that specifically with his routine through the use of coconut milk and cryodesiccation and finding those that right balance within them.
So I think this year, right, because Jack's routine also kind of, take that legacy from the last year as well. So lots of his technique was applied to this routine as well, but he elevated to the next level. So I think so many people, so you guys are pushing a boundary to the next level, right? So that I just wanted to know what the tips behind of it, like how do you push yourself? How can you push yourself so hard?
I think Jack could answer this as well, but when we're thinking of what we want to go through and how can we be better than last year, and what we want to do and what we want to accomplish, and it's like, oh, well, that's what we want to accomplish. We simply want to be better than we were last year. So it kind of became the theme of the routine, and then it's like, well, how can we improve on these things, like within the scope of the rules, and the new rule changes, which allowed us to explore different coffees with the way that accuracy of flavour has changed. And that's where it's like, well, what can we do in the coffee, which led us to Gary, which led us to exploring this technology as well.
Wow. Yeah, like just trying now. Tell me.
Are you convinced? I was convinced in Shanghai already.
This is very different. I mean, this is very different. It's very different. Especially tactile is much smoother. It's not necessarily mean that it gets heavier, but it's more smoother. Yeah, it's more silkier, let's say.
Agreed. Yeah.
It's a bit dry if you're not waved, but it's very smooth when you after the waving. Like it's very different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow.
After the waving.
Yeah.
Oh, well, even the flavor is different, no? Yeah, it's more brighter.
Yeah, I think the citrus flavor is more open on the waved one.
Yeah.
It highlights
right.
some of those flavour notes that I thought, when I dial in, I'll dial in without the wave, then I'll add it, and it just sort of just lifts it up a little bit. And
Is this a little bit, like tonic sensation was gone? Yeah, this is very interesting.
Yeah. So tannins are also part of polyphenols, the big family. So
Big family, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the non-flavonoids. So they also react with the technology.
Wow, this is insane. This is really. Oh, thank you. This is the Pacamara, Zaza.
Pacamara, yes.
That smells really good.
It does,
The way
doesn't it?
you grind it's so good. I was
Yeah.
stuck right behind the grinder, but it was so good.
Yeah, it's an amazing coffee.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about the roasting, Matt?
Wow.
Well, I guess once we started working with the waved and exploring like Jack's extraction style, like Anthony has a very particular way that he worked when we were doing 2022. I've worked with Jack for 2 campaigns now, so kind of got used to what he was looking for. And then with the wave, we like really got it into a succinct place. We had a lot of options as well, like a lot of coffees throughout, which We serve pretty much all of them on the stand, so if you want to come and try them, please have a look. I don't know the number. R25. But yeah, it's a profile that's been developing over a long time, working with different competitors. Anthony for 10 years. My experience as a sensory judge as well, so just kind of knowing what to look for, but what Jack wants to showcase as well.
Yeah.
So we pretty much spend our weekends going to the gym, roasting some coffee, extracting some coffee, roasting some coffee, waving some coffee, back to the gym, and that's kind of been our life for the last 6 months.
Yeah, at least, yeah. Yeah, I think just to add on that as well, I think like me and Matt, we'll taste a lot of coffees together, and I think it's about sort of calibrating to each other, like Matt said, and then we change the roast profile, and I think Matt does an amazing job at that, and we're in the finals, so yeah.
I think, yeah, roasting's one thing, but getting what the barista wants is pretty much part of our job. Showcasing the producer, the amazing producer's job that they do, and then giving the baristas something that they can work with, how they want to work with it. That's, you know, not up to me.
I have another question for you when it comes to roasting and choosing the competition coffee, because everyone is asking me, oh, can you help with choosing competition coffee? What are you looking for when choosing competition coffee, competition coffee?
I like to think of it as the eyebrow moment. Whenever you pick up a coffee and you're like, the eyebrows go up. It's like usually that's.
Sure, it's not the most expensive.
It's not the most expensive.
It's not the most expensive one.
They always pick the most expensive one, yeah?
That's the boss telling you.
They have a fancy
Let's
palette,
buy
Dave.
12 lots of coffee from all around the world. I'll use the expensive one.
Yeah, sometimes. But it's sweetness, balance, clarity of flavour, we know that. But within the scope of the new rules, there is a lot more open options with the 3-point score. It gives a lot of competitors much more flexibility. So I think a lot of producers out there are making amazing coffee, and sweetness is always a really important factor for me.
Sweetness. Remember that, sweetness.
All right, so I think we are running up the time right now. So, hi. You are the most hard work person, I think, you know, working along with Jack. So do you have any words to him?
Yes, I'm really, really, really proud of you. I think as a competitor, Jack has been like really evolving, like in the leading up to competition, like mindfulness and just like his personality, like he's been growing up a lot. So yeah, that's been really good to see.
That, that's all right.
Jack, do you have anything you want to say to the person who support you the most?
Oh, yeah, I mean, all these guys have put in a tremendous amount of support, and I couldn't have done it without anyone. Obviously, Gabby, she's watched 60, 70 run-throughs of mine, so she probably could do it herself. So, and backstage as well, she's been instrumental. So, but, you know, everyone here and everyone back home at Axel as well, and everyone that's helped me along the way. There's just so many people I want to thank, and I probably don't have time right now, but I will very shortly.
Perfect. All right, so once again, big congratulations, Jack, and then also the team Axel. Congratulations from bottom of my heart. And once again, give the big round of applause for the Barista champion representing Australia, Jack Simpson.
Thank you so